Hi everybody, Mike Beer here with your DRF race of the day for Thursday, May the 7th. We're down at Gulfstream Park for the second race on that card. It's a maiden special weight race for 2-year-old fillies. They're going to sprint 4.5 furlongs. Here's the field. You can see they only allow 8 to run in these races for the 2-year-olds, so a big list of horses stuck there on the also eligible list. 5 horses who are not in the race as of yet, but you probably want to look at scratches before you dig into the wagering of this race, because there are a couple of interesting horses who did not get in and could still get in, I suppose, with any scratches in the race. So we'll see how that all plays out. Of the 8 in the main body, you'll notice right off the bat that the 2 morning line favorites in the field, the 4 Gem Thief, the 2 Theros, both trained by 2-year-old ace Wesley Ward. He just wins a ton of these races. He always seems to have his 2-year-olds primed and ready to go for their first career start. So it's no surprise that his 2 fillies are favored on the morning line. Gem Thief is the morning line favorite at 9-5. I wonder if some of that price has to do with the fact that Irad Ortiz takes them out on this one. I certainly feel like that's factored in because these 2 horses are pretty hard to separate. Theros is 5-2, second choice on the morning line, but just expect them both to take a lot of money in here if they in fact both run against each other. And they just, they're probably the 2 horses to beat just because Ward, he's sort of the default position in these races. He has his 2-year-olds ready to go. They always show a lot of speed. Gem Thief is by Shanghai Bobby, who's a 10% 2-year-old debut sire. This Dam Corderosa was actually a really talented horse. She only made 4 starts in her career, but she was a debut winner in New York. Each of her next 3 career starts all came in stakes races. She either finished 2nd and 3rd in all of those. She was a talented filly who had her career cut short. And she's also been a pretty solid producer, too. She's had 3 foals so far. 2 of them are multiple winners. Her 3rd foal, the horse who's racing right now named Lane Way, is a 3-year-old. He's 0 for 3 to start, but he's run well in all 3 of his races, earning buyers of 76, 82, and 89, and he didn't win any of those races. He ran against Nadal, he ran against Charlatan. Those 2 horses, of course, swept the 2 divisions of the Grade 1 Arkansas Derby over the weekend, so he's just landed in good fields, but he's run well also. So all 3 of the foals from this dam can run. Corderosa could run. Wesley Ward has these horses ready to go. I can see why this horse is the morning line favorite. Theros, the second choice on the line for Ward, maybe has a little bit more of a precocious pedigree. Ken Theros is an excellent 2-year-old debut sire. He wins with 18% of his 2-year-old first-time starters. The Dam Cosmo Girl, she was a stakes winner in her career. All 4 of her career wins sprinting on the dirt, and she had a lot of speed. I think that's one thing you want to maybe take in consideration with Theros. Since you have the free formulator PPs here for the race of the day, click on the Dam's name in those PPs and pull up Cosmo Girl's lifetime PPs, because not only was she a quality runner, but she was fast. I mean, she basically had the lead in every one of the dirt races in her career. So if she translates that speed to her offspring here in Theros, maybe expect this horse to come out of there running and be really tough over a distance that's this short. You also have 2 horses in here who already have a race, and I think that could be very important. As far as I'm concerned, I always, take a second look at the horses with experience. I think experience is very important in these races. If it was up to me, I would maybe never bet a first-time starter if I could avoid it. I guess you do have some questions, though, with these 2 horses that have run already. The 6 Sister Aurora, the 8 Awesome View, they both debuted in the same race, as a matter of fact, last month over this course and distance. Sister Aurora didn't break great from the gate in that race and then didn't do any running after that. Was no factor at a big price. Awesome View, she seemed like a horse who maybe could have been set up to be a contender in that race. It was just interesting that she didn't take a lot of money in there. She went off the 3rd choice. She debuted with blinkers on. Can't say that I loved her performance, especially when you consider that, Ralph Nix is a horse who has success with his first-time starters, and this horse had the pedigree to do well early on in her career by an excellent 2-year-old debut sire, and Awesome, of course, and just a lot of quality, it felt like, on the bottom of the pedigree, out of a Dam who's a sister to, several stakes winners, including the multiple Grade 1 winning sprinter Jackson Ben. So it felt like that horse could be interesting in that career debut, and then as it turned out, just didn't run that well. Actually got out of the gate fine from the rail, and had a little speed, but was outrun to the lead in there, and then just never made an impact. I did think she got sort of caught behind a horse on the turn that maybe didn't really allow her to improve that much. But once she got clear in the stretch, she didn't do a lot of running either. I wonder how good this horse is, but I do respect that she already has a race under her belt. And I do think she can take a step forward here. I think it makes her at least mildly interesting if you're looking for alternatives to the 2 favorites. Let's just touch on some of the other horses here to fill in this field, because there's only 8. The number 1 is Race Day Speed. By a sire in Race Day, who's off to a decent start with his 2-year-old first-time starter, 6 for 32 so far from limited numbers with this horse. That's 18% with his 2-year-old first-time starters, so he could get a horse to win early. The dam didn't race, but the second dam was a Grade 3 winning sprinter, a pretty fast horse. This dam has dropped 2 foals. They both run okay, so there are things to like about this horse who is going to be a big price. The number 3 is Princess Secret. There are things to really take a second look at with this horse. By Kozan, off to a 10-for-42 start with his 2-year-old first-time starters. That's 23% winners. Out of a dam, she won 4 times in her career. All 4 of the dam's wins were routed on the dirt. She wanted to go a little longer, but she's had 6 foals to race. 4 of them are winners, so she's a decent producer for a trainer and owner. And Daniel Pita, he's only 3-for-32 with his first-time starters over the past 5 years, but the ROI is $2.40. So the horses that have won for him have won at prices 8-to-1. 7-to-2 and 23-to-1. So he can get horses to pop at a price first time out. And this horse certainly has the pedigree to do so. So maybe take a second look at this horse, who not only has the pedigree and the sort of dangerous trainer with horses like this, but there's a bullet breeze out of the gate on April 22nd, and you get Louis Saez taking them out. So some interesting intangibles with the 3 Princess Secret, and she may be a price in here. The 5 is Lyrical. I don't love this horse's pedigree. Brethren, a 6% debut sire. The dam, Boa 12, 2 career wins, both of those on turf. She's a sister to Pink Poppy, also more of a turf horse. 5 career wins for Pink Poppy, several stakes races as well, all on the turf. You can see that if you go to the AE list, number 12, Tequia, who's also an Arundel homebred, that horse is out of Pink Poppy. So these 2 horses out of sisters. But more of a turf pedigree for Lyrical. What you want to pay attention to with Lyrical is there's a long series of works for this horse. So been on the tab for a while, so you expect this horse to be fit, if nothing else, for her career debut in here. And you also have, Juan Alvarado, who's just doing a really good job overall so far at this meet. He's winning a lot of races, and he's also been sending out some pretty live 2-year-olds for Arundel lately. Juan Alvarado, just 2 for his last 25 overall with 2-year-old first-time starters. However, those 2 wins both came last month right here at Gulfstream Park with Arundel homebreds as well, and both times those horses ran down heavily favored horses from the Wesley Ward barn to win those races. So you have some recency with the 2-year-olds from this barn really coming out and running well, and Lyrical could certainly be another one of those. The 7 is Briella. I thought another horse who will probably be a price in here that could be a little interesting. I mean, Cajun Breeze is just 1-for-14. It's a very small sample with his 2-year-old first-time starters. So we'll see if he can pick it up a little bit. But there's some quality underneath anyway. The dam has dropped several horses. I don't think any of them you would consider stars, but several horses who could really run. 6 multiple winners from this dam, 1 stakes winner. So she's dropped some horses who could do some running. Michael Yates is just 8 for his last 113 with his first-time starters. That's only 7%, but the ROI is $2. He's another guy who can get these horses to win at prices sometimes. So that's something to consider for a horse who at least has a little pedigree going for her. That's the 8 in the main body of the race, and obviously I do think you have to take these Wesley Ward horses seriously. They haven't been winning so far at the Gulfstream Park meet. He's already sent out 4 2-year-olds to debut at this meet, and only one of them has won. They've all been favored. But they've all actually run pretty well. The other 3 did finish second, even though they didn't win. And, of course, 2 of those second to those Arundel horses trained by Juan Alvarado. We'll see if that happens again because they have Lyrical in here. But here are the picks for the race. I am going to go with one of the Wesley Wards on top anyway. I'm going to take Theros. I just like that horse's precocious pedigree a little bit more than the other one. I suspect that they'll both run pretty well in here. But I'm going to go with Theros on top. I went 2, 8, 3, and 7 in the Thursday race of the day. It's the 2nd at Gulfstream Park, so it's early on the card. The approximate post time, 1:35 Eastern Time. Good luck.